equation is simple. The healthier your cattle are, the faster they gain weight, the greater price they return, and the bigger your profit margin. The most important threat to cattle health in feedlots is respiratory disease. The damaging effects of bovine respiratory disease, or BRD as it's commonly referred to, have long been known. Not just mortalities and carcass disposal, but costs of treatment, labour costs, and reduced performance of animals that do recover all impact on your bottom line. To reduce the incidence of BRD, operators are continually assessing the cattle sourcing, induction and management factors that contribute to the development of BRD, as well as seeking to implement any proven, innovative health control strategies that could help reduce the impact of BRD on their feedlot. We report here on such an innovative development, but first, Dr. Griff Dalgleish of Intervet Australia provides some backgrounds on the disease and how it presents on Australian feedlots.
This respiratory disease of feedlot cattle, it's gone by a number of different names over the years. We've known about the disease for 100 years or so. It's been feedlot pneumonia, it's been shipping fever, transit fever, stockyards fever, Pasteurella pneumonia. Nowadays probably BRD, bovine respiratory disease, sort of covers it. So it's been around for a long time, and the one thing we do know about it though is it's the single most important cause of financial loss because of disease on feedlots. So it's the most significant disease we come across in this type of environment. What causes it? There's many different things contribute to the development of the disease. There's the stress on the animals as they come off pasture. They're transported in trucks over long distances in hot temperatures. They're mixed with other animals from different sources, so there's an exchange of respiratory viruses, and this all contributes to the disease. They arrive on new feedlots where they're inducted, and they'll get a pill in the ear, they'll get a vaccine, they'll get a drench, they'll get a backline treatment, they'll get an ear tag, they may get branded, they may get the tips of the horns cut off or whatever. So they have a very stressful induction process, and then they're on the feedlot where the diet has changed. They're in pens of animals where they're having to sort out the pecking order, and then you're in a dusty environment as well. All of these things, the stress, the change of diet, the fact that respiratory viruses like IBR or RSV or PI3 are circulating, all of this contributes to lower the ability of the animal to defend itself against respiratory infection. And then at the end of this, a bug called Pasteurella, or recently reclassified as Mannheimia, seems to take over, and ultimately we end up with a bacterial pneumonia in the lungs, and this is the BRD, or the Pasteurella pneumonia. The bug itself, we know, lives up the back of the throat of animals and the nasopharynx, and so why some animals should suffer from this disease and other ones don't, we're not entirely sure, but clearly there's a lot of contributing factors, and ultimately in bad situations you can have 5 or 10% of the animals will go down with this disease. Classically, it's seen about 2 to 3 weeks after they arrive in a feedlot, and this is where your pen riders really earn their corn, because the first signs of the animal is a little bit dull. They may be lying down and reluctant to get up. Their ears may be drooping down a little bit, and good pen riders will notice that there's something just not right about these animals. They're just a little bit dull and less interested in their surroundings, and they're not getting up if they're trying to be roused at all. And next, they'll notice that they're breathing a little bit harder, and if they're taken out in a hospital tent, they will have a high fever, 40 degrees or so. And these animals are sick, and unless you get in and treat hard and early with antibiotics, these animals will die on you within a day or so, and you've got what was a top-class prime animal is suddenly dead, and this is where the losses occur, so it's a major factor.
Rearing feedlot cattle requires a high level of management control over the nutrition and health programs of cattle on the units. With over 600 accredited feedlots in Australia and a multi-billion-dollar beef industry making us the largest beef exporter in the world, controlling the losses caused by BRD is an imperative for maximum profit. Understanding the BRD cycle can help you break it. And using Bovilis MH, Intervet's new vaccine for the control of bovine respiratory disease, will provide you with an effective tool in reducing losses caused by such a debilitating disease.
What we have done at Intervet over the last few years is, in collaboration with the CSIRO, we've created a vaccine. And this vaccine is unique in a number of ways. It involves two separate strains of local Australian bacteria that we've taken from the field. One of them is a high-producing toxin strain, and the other one is taken from a natural case that was isolated here in Australia. These two bacteria are put together in a single vaccine, and they have been tested experimentally under strict conditions of control and shown to be highly efficacious. And over the last 2 or 3 years, the vaccine has been used in the field under commercial situations under a permit from the NRA, the National Registration Authority. And 200,000–300,000 cattle have been inducted to feedlots across Australia, and they've had the vaccine administered to them. And the reduction in morbidity, animals suffering from disease, never mind those animals that are dying from disease, has been quite dramatic. So we're very pleased with how the vaccine has performed when it's been put into the field under strict and tough commercial conditions. So we at Intervet are very excited about this vaccine coming onto the market, so it will be commercially available to feedlots all across Australia. It was, as I say, it was a collaborative effort with CSIRO. The vaccine includes local Australian strains. It's manufactured here in Australia, and we know that it performs commercially in large-scale feedlot operations. So we believe it will be a benefit to the producers because it will reduce the amount of antibiotics that have to be used to treat sick cattle. It will reduce the overall morbidity, it will reduce the mortality, it will improve the welfare of cattle, of course, and ultimately the bottom line of the feedlot producers in Australia will be improved by the use of this vaccine. So we're very excited about it.
Bovilis MH, a new vaccine against bovine respiratory disease for healthier cattle and healthier profits. From Intervet Australia.